Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, iTunes, and more. And happy Valentine's Day to you. I am Dr. Marissa, and I am on a happy 88 mission. 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years, whether it's Valentine's or not. But today should be maybe a little bit easier to find that loving feeling unless you're expecting things. So hopefully today brings you everything you're not expecting, because I know I do have a tendency, when there's special days and then I get my hopes up and then whatever. So the good news is I have no hopes. I am very happy 88% of the time already, especially when the Rams won yesterday. Woohoo! And it is Valentine's Day today, which means that my Asian Oprah giveaway to you is a book that is founded on loving yourself, which I think is the most important thing, because from that place, it's much easier to love other people without expectations. So listen to the end of the show and I'll tell you how to get an audiobook copy, if you'd like, of 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. And because y'all loved when I brought Dr. Pat Allen back and spotlighted her, I'm going to do the same thing again, because she really does tell it like it is. And it's funny, I was just talking to my daughter on the way back from the game that I really don't have time for a relationship to have a Valentine's with. And it's interesting because I was in the same place in this particular show, and there is some definite advice that I can choose to take or not. So please enjoy Dr. Pat Allen on Valentine's Day.
And it is Happy Valentine's Day to all of my listeners out there now and later, as well as Happy Sad Day, which stands for Single Awareness Day. So we're going to get into that with my guest. Every year I get one of the most extraordinary women that I know, who is in her 80s, doesn't act, sound, or be like an 80-plus-year-old woman. Dr. Pat Allen has devoted 42 years in helping men and women learn to express their wants and needs with integrity and honesty, and to recognize and avoid the damaging ploys of intimidation and seduction. Oprah calls her the comic mother superior for her no-nonsense, irreverent, tell it like it is, so you can get hitched coaching. You may recognize her from the Millionaire Matchmaker hit TV show on Bravo, or her many sexpert interviews on CNN, Fox, and KTLA. Dr. Pat has been on Oprah 4 times, and now the Asian Oprah 6 times, to celebrate both Valentine's and my 250th show. I can't think of a better way to celebrate it. Please welcome to the studio, Dr. Pat Allen. You're awesome. Thank you again for gracing my studio for your once a year Rake Me Through the Romance coals. And your show is actually my number 1 watched YouTube. Over 15,000 people have watched us, or you, rake me over the romance coals. So I just wanted to let you know that. And you don't stop, do you? How old are you this year?
I'm 82 years young.
82 years young. And you're still, I looked on your website, you're still doing your LA once a week
I do my LA
hot
once
seats.
a month at the Marriott Courtyard at Bristol and Culver.
And-
Monday night, the first Monday of the month from 7 to 8:30. And then, of course, Orange County, where I live, I do the first Wednesday of the month at the Newport Community Center, which I've just been there a couple months now. And I'm loving it. I love carrying on this message.
Yes, you do. And you do a great job. I know so many people, when I say Dr. Pat Allen's coming on, they're like, oh, I love Dr. Pat Allen. So thank you. Will you ever retire?
Why would I retire when all I do is talk? I will retire when I can't talk.
All right. Well, we hope that you keep talking. What is left on your bathtub list? That's my version of the bucket list, which is a bigger than a bucket. What do you still want to do?
I just had a wonderful 4-day weekend with two of my marvelous 4 daughters, the oldest and the youngest, and we visited 9 missions. 9 missions in Northern California. And we ate, and we saw the monarch butterflies, and we enjoyed God's grandeur.
That's wonderful. Any location you haven't gone yet that you'd like to go on the planet?
I've been around quite a bit. I think I'd like to go to Russia.
Russia. That's a great, I've had, that's on my bathtub list too. Maybe
No, I haven't been to, I've been to most every place else, but I think I want to go see what is all this Russian stuff.
Yeah. See how they hacked into our system, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're not talking about that. So, if you've just tuned in and you're wondering who's on the phone with me, it is Dr. Pat Allen again. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, and I bring her on every year for Valentines because she has the best advice that I don't follow. So I'm so sorry. I almost got on the air to tell you that I was in a romantic relationship. And then 3 days ago, it didn't work. I can't believe I almost made it, because every year I try to practice your principles and, show that it works. And I'm a failure, Dr. Pat. I'm so sorry. I'm single again. Today is Single Awareness Day for me. I'm trying not to be bitter. But one of these years, I'm going to have a relationship when I have you on the show. But I want to play a little game with you this year. It's called the Call My BS game. So Call My Bullshitaki game. Ready? And these are based on common themes that I hear from my listeners and my followers and my Facebook friends, as well as in my once a month call-in shows. Okay, so
All right.
Here we go. True love relationships should be easy. So if communication is difficult or conflict starts early, they are not the right one. Is that BS or is it true?
It's BS.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
We all want to fall in love with the person that brings us the lesson we need to become better ourselves. No, sorry about that. Pleasure does not wire the nervous system. Anxiety does. Fire it to wire it. No pain, no gain. I teach people how to work through their pain and anxiety, knowing the lesson is going to be far more imprinted on their nervous system. We don't learn anything from pleasure. Pleasure is the reward for going through the pain.
I see.
So there.
So when there is pain, so when there's discomfort, so when a guy doesn't return a text, or if a guy rejects you, that is not necessarily a bad thing. That is a learning, growing thing, is what you're saying?
Let me say something to you.
Okay.
Marriage and mating is not a man's game.
Okay.
Polyamorous, polygamous, free sex, free wives, that's a man's game. And because of that, you've got to know how to respectfully teach him, mold him it's a man's world and a woman's universe. That's my new book coming out right now. It's
Awesome.
gone to print. Anyway, they're in charge of junk, and we're in charge of air. You can have a lot of junk, but without air, it doesn't do you much good. So I'm afraid that what I teach, truthfully, I don't like Pat Allen either. Because, man, it's hard to do all that stuff.
It is. It really is. I almost had a psychic boyfriend, except he broke up with me before we met. I mean, that's where I am on my my dating. I kept, like, this last year, I think I went on 2 dates, and I tried to follow what you said. I did not say that I was on the air. I did not say I was on the radio. I just introduced myself as Marissa. I was very interested in what he did. I was very interested in, that respect thing that you told me that I need to do. And we had a great first date. And I did not sleep with him on the first date. I did kiss
It's not whether
him.
you slept with him, it's whether you screwed him.
Oh, okay. Difference is?
There's intercourse.
Okay, there was no intercourse, for sure.
We and women mate and marry when we have intercourse. They mate and marry when they want to pay our bills. There's a study on that in the 90s. We mate and marry for status and security. They mate and marry for sensual and sexual security. And the truth of the matter is, the only reason they get is to keep us away from somebody else.
Okay, so that's not very that's not romantic.
You want to know something? Nature is not built on romance. Nature is built on science. By the way, the book on that is The Evolution of Desire by David Buss. That's the book on the Harvard study. So look, pleasure is the reward for going through the pain.
Okay, I got that. Here's the next one. Call the BS. Women can have one-night stands and still feel good about themselves afterwards. Truth or BS? Beliefs.
It's true if you're over 50.
Okay.
I'm a cougar now. I'm 82 years old. I haven't been without a man in 1,000 years. I buried one a couple of years ago, and I'm a cougar now.
You are?
My new boyfriend of 1 year is only 65 years old.
What?
Whoa.
How did you meet him?
He met me 30 years ago at my seminar when he was with some gold digger wife. He had a couple of them.
Okay.
And somebody told him I was still doing business, and he came down and saw me. I didn't remember him, but I saw him, and the chemistry was out of sight. So we've been dating now for 1 solid year in a monogamous, continuous, long-term, probably never going to marry. I mean, if I get pregnant, I get pregnant. It'd be a miracle.
I wouldn't put it past you. The first 82-year-old woman that's pregnant. Well, congratulations. That was one of my questions, because you do share your love life with me on the air. So you are with him. And now, does he follow the principles? Do you follow your own principles with him?
You know, it's really, yes, I do.
Okay.
I am a woman of integrity. The only way I know I love myself or anybody else is by the commitments I'm willing to make and keep.
And there's more of Dr. Pat Allen when we return, so don't go away. Here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA NBC News Radio Channel. And if you'd like to listen and watch, it's also on my YouTube channel, which is a free subscribe. And if you do, every weekday morning, you'll get an alert that a new show is about to drop at 8 a.m. And you can also enjoy all of my red carpet playlists. I have many wonderful people. And you know that two of my favorite are Halle Berry and John Travolta. So enjoy that, as well as my new short film, PPP Post-Pandemic Possibilities, which actually has been selected for a film festival, which I'm very grateful for. But without further ado, there's so much to learn from Dr. Pat Allen. So please enjoy as she rakes me over the romance coals every year once again.
So you say that women over 50 can have one-night stands without
When
feeling... Okay, why 50?
45 and 50, he goes feminine on his estrogen, and we go masculine.
Okay.
So nature works for us. We're built so that if we live long enough, we're supposed to train the young studs how to be good lovers.
I see.
That's our job in nature.
So I've never seen cougar as a good term, but you're saying that that's actually a role that we should be playing?
Well, all I know is I qualify as a cougar. I'm an older woman who basically doesn't bond anymore. I fall in love like a man, intellectually. Let's see. I mean, how is he living his life? Da, 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 da.
Uh-huh.
So this man is so, you know what I can tell? He's been living Pat Allen's laws for the last 30 years, but he couldn't find a woman that lived it, and so he met me then. You know,
well, he went to the source.
He met me 30 years ago.
That's great. He's smart. He went to the source.
That's exactly right.
Great. So if you're listening and you're over 50, you can try it. I'm ageless, so I'm not going to say how old I am. But I do know that I still don't, I feel like if I have intercourse and I don't have a relationship, I can't enjoy it. I don't get pleasure from that. So is there something wrong with me?
No, I'm 82, and I don't do casual sex at all.
Okay.
But I've watched women do it in my office, and they...
Not literally.
I realize, I've read up on it, and women that are past menopause are basically like young men.
Okay.
Madonna's doing it. J-Lo's doing it. It's toy boy time.
Okay.
I don't want a toy boy.
Okay.
I want solid relationships. But I've seen it done.
Okay.
And I can't judge people that do it and get away with it. That's their lifestyle. That's the way they do it.
Okay, that's a good clarification. So it's possible, but that doesn't mean it's all across the board.
No.
Okay.
I'm a therapist, not a moralist.
Okay. So next test. BS or truth? Men just want to get laid. The more, the quicker, and the less emotion, the better.
I just said it a little bit ago.
Okay.
Men are not built for marriage, mating, or monogamy.
Okay, so that's the truth.
But if you're the right woman and you're courteous and respectful, I really appreciate you want to make love to me. They don't want to make love to you. They want to screw you. I really appreciate you want to make love to me, but I have a commitment to myself that I'm not going to have casual sex. So are you ready for a monogamous, continuous, long-term aiming towards... Now, I don't mind people mating. That's marriage without a document. Or marriage. That's mating with a document with the government. So mating or marriage is a long-term commitment. Continuity is you can have a long-distance relationship and see each other once a month. That's what my last 5-year boyfriend was in Houston, Texas.
I remember that.
We had a great time. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
But now I've got somebody close by, and I like that better.
Yeah. I actually think that the once a month would be great for me with my schedule. So that's what I've been looking for, but it's it ain't there. That's okay. That's okay. I'm so I'll do an aside, not a question. Is it okay for women to say, I mean it's okay of course, but for the successful or driven or very busy professional woman, is it okay to really believe and say, I love myself. I'm happy with my life. I love, like this weekend, I got to interview like huge people, Halle Berry, Quincy Jones, John Travolta. I mean, that's like amazing. And I had an amazing weekend. And, it was on the heels of something that I thought was going to go somewhere that didn't go anywhere after the first date. And I'm thinking, and I was like mad at myself because I had such a huge, beautiful, successful weekend. And I'm thinking about, the loss of what I thought was going to be a Valentine. I know it's beyond the day I don't even care about. But is it better just for me to accept that my profession and my work is my partner for now at least, and stop trying to date?
I hope you're mature enough to be chemically stable and not bondable. Old women and young men don't bond. They fall in love by decision. Old women and young men make decisions. You sound like a career woman.
Yes.
You're either a woman with a career who puts her family and her loved ones ahead of her career, or you're a career woman, and neither of those are wrong.
Okay. But I do put my kids in front of my career. Like, that's my number one.
There's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is you have to be with a man or a woman, because I'm not against gay, lesbian, whatever. You have to be with a man or a woman who's a woman and a man, and you're the top priority in their life, not their career, because they'll compete with your career. I can't have two career men and two career women. I've got to have a career man and a woman with a career, or a career woman and a man with a career. Do you understand?
I understand, and I'm gonna just test that. So my idea of what would be ideal for me is a man who is as busy as I am, who loves his work as much as I do, who respects me as much as I respect him, and we have this giant world of wonder alone, and then we come together once a month and have the most amazing weekend together, and that's our relationship. And we talk every day and all of that. Is that not possible? Am I going down?
That is totally possible, but there's one problem.
Okay.
Men are more territorial than we are. And the book on that is Dangerous Passions by, once again, David Butt.
Okay.
Territoriality is a sign of being in love. If you're with somebody that can share you with other people, you're not in love. You're having a relationship, but it's simply a hookup.
And when we come back, there's more of Dr. Pat Allen and her one-of-a-kind, no-holds-barred, tell it like it is relationship advice. When we come back here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, iTunes, and more. And thank you all for making this the number one 8 a.m. show in the IE on the number one station. And I promised that if you listen to the end, I would give you a Valentine's gift today, my Asian Oprah giveaway being the audiobook version of 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. And there's no limit because it's Valentine's Day. So whoever's listening to this, if you contact drmarissa.life and you put in the subject line self-love, and I'll email you with a promo code so you can download your Valentine's gift. Now, without further ado, the remainder of my Spotlight interview with Dr. Pat Allen. Enjoy.
If you want to be in a significant relationship, you have to, and you're over 45 to 50 years old, you've got to decide, today I'm a career woman, but tomorrow I may be a woman with a career, and so may you. Mm-hmm. You've got to understand, compliments attract, similars repel. I got to go to work. I got to go to work. Well, we were going to go, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but I've got to go to work, and you've got to go to work, and I celebrate you going to work, and he celebrates me going to work. Not going to happen?
You know what? As long as you don't get the big deal from Japan.
Mm-hmm. Well, or China. Yeah.
Just about the time you plan the greatest vacation on the planet, you get the deal from Japan.
Okay, I get your point. I get your point. Okay. So equal partners doesn't exist, is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, do you make love or have sex? Animals have sex. Humans that are best friends make love.
So we have this belief system that if you're best friends, like, the friend zone, right? So if you friend zone someone, that's someone that you really aren't having a relationship with, not a romantic relationship. So it sounds like it's something different.
A romantic relationship takes about 3 minutes to start, and the people acknowledge it. Chemistry is chemistry. It's amazing.
Yes, the butterflies are amazing. I mean, I had a week's worth of wonderful butterflies, and then the unfulfilled expectation that came afterwards was just so perplexing and confusing. And so I went through, all 5 stages of Kubler-Ross's death and dying, because I'm like, this is exactly why I don't date, because the thrill of victory is so overshadowed by the agony of defeat. So it's like decaffeinated coffee. Why bother?
Look, chemistry is a pheromonal exchange of cells from each body that keeps us together past the normal 3 years of small shot relationships. Remember, chemistry, compatibility, friendship, and communication. What do you want? What do you not want? You've got to make a deal. And I don't know if you noticed that. I've written a couple books.
Yes.
Getting to I Do is still on the stands 20 years later.
Yes, great
and
book.
Staying Married and Loving It is still in Amazon. Look, nothing has changed that I'm aware of when it comes to science. It's worked for me for the last 40 years, and it's working for people that are listening to me.
Yes.
So I'm supported by what I'm doing. And God willing, if you've got chemistry, protect it from your animal nature.
So if you feel the chemistry, it feels really good, don't have intercourse right away. Build the friendship for 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months?
No. Relationships break up in 3-month cycles.
Okay.
First 3 months, perfect. chemistry is great. Compatibility seems great. Communication seems okay. Second 3 months are awful. From 3 to 6 months, everything you thought was good is now fallen on the floor. The third 3 months is where you've got to negotiate time, space, money, and play. You've got to solidify your wants and his wants. And the fourth, the rest of the cycle is committing. Mm-hmm. You know what? You don't commit to a person. We're all jerks. And we all do stupid things. You commit to the relationship you build.
Mm-hmm. Got it. I actually use that formula myself, not on myself, but for my clients. All right. And today's guest is Dr. Pat Allen, the irreverent, non-politically correct, but almost absolutely correct in how to get married and stay happy in your marriage, or connect with someone so that you can get to that place. Now, we've been playing this game called Call the BS, call the belief system that is not working for you. And we've covered quite a bit. I have a couple more here. I think you did touch on this, but chemistry is one of those topics that I get asked a lot of questions on. If you don't have butterflies, so if you meet someone, you don't have butterflies, close the door, because the caterpillar ain't gonna hatch. So I guess if you didn't get that analogy, is it possible to develop that chemistry if you don't have it at the beginning?
Chemistry is given to you by nature. If you don't have chemistry, then what you're doing is legally organizing a friendship. Maybe you've got kids from another family. Maybe you meet each other for political reasons. I mean, romance is only one way to marry. Marriages of arrangement, where families create, have been proving to be as successful as romantic relationships. Mm-hmm. Because compatibility. If you've got chemistry and you've got compatibility, but you don't have communication, you're going to be the fightingest couple on the planet, but the chemistry will keep you together. If you've got chemistry and you've got committability, but you don't have compatibility, you probably are going to never be able to divorce each other, but you will be able to stay in each other's space. 2 out of 3 will keep you interested, but they won't keep you. To be in love, you've got to have chemistry, compatibility in lifestyle, and communication of wants and not wants. And that's what a friendship is based on.
Okay. And a friendship then turns into a decision to stay in that relationship.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So that answers that one. I do want to go off on a little side. You said something that I haven't heard before, which is you can have a marriage that is not based on the romantic chemistry, that type of relationship. Would you say that those relationships stay longer than ones that are built on chemistry?
The ones that are arranged based on compatibility have a very good track record.
Okay.
Some cultures marry by arrangement. Okay. Families arrange for compatibility.
Okay.
And truthfully, it's like building a business.
Mm-hmm.
If both people are open to being on a team called married, you see, mm-hmm. They build something based on spending time, living in a space, handling money, mm-hmm. and being able to play with each other, at least non-sexually. Do you see?
Yes, I get it. I get it.
That's friendship.
Yeah.
Anyway, marriage comes in many different styles. Mm-hmm. And as long as you know what your style is, convenient, codependent, or covenant, you can negotiate anything. I've seen people that you'd never guess that they could possibly build a relationship. You see, but they ended up doing it.
Okay.
A lot of marriages are based on premature pregnancies, shotgun weddings.
Yes.
And while the kids are in the home, that marriage may hold up very well. But once the last kid is out of the home, I'm sorry, but somebody may leave.
Well, you see that a lot. I think that's on the rise statistically, right? And I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing, because there is a part of me that thinks that the whole life sentence, until death do us part, is not necessarily joy building. If you're in a relationship that isn't working, and to stay and continue to stay, it robs you of joy. So I believe there's a balance between leaving too soon and staying too long. So yeah.
It's a matter. I like people to negotiate when they first meet every 2 months. Go over your list. It's chapter 14 in my book, Negotiating Time, Space, Money, and Play. In the second year of your relationship life, every 4 months, negotiate everything. The third year, negotiate every 6 months. That's twice a year. And then don't ever pass a year without doing an anniversary renegotiation of time. I time, we time, us time.
Yeah.
Space, chores, maintenance, money, my money, your money, our money. Play, non-sexual play, I, we, and us. And sexual play, I, we, and us.
And
those are the items to be negotiated.
And that's the communication piece that absolutely is so important, but we don't do that very often.
We keep going on chemistry only. Chemistry, you can't carry it for more than 3 years.
Yeah. I got to work on more than 3 days.
Yeah, well, it just doesn't. Chemistry just can't carry an intimate relationship for more than 3 years. First year, absolutely ecstatic. Second year, enjoy.
Yeah.
Third year, boring.
Right. So here's another one. Online dating is one big letdown when you finally meet. True or BS? Belief system.
Online dating for the right reason. See, online dating is where you're sending an application out to the world for somebody to apply for a compatible position with you. It's a perfectly fine thing, but you can't negotiate chemistry.
So you have to meet and see if there's chemistry.
Networking is for compatibility and communication.
Okay.
You know what I really feel sorry for are people that build emotional relationships on the computer, which is a new addiction. They build these marvelous relationships on the computer, and then they happen to meet each other, and there is no chemistry.
Right. Now, how about this one? All the good men are gone because the ones who are successful and have all the success and the money and all of that good stuff have already married either someone they're staying with, or they are not interested in successful women. They're looking for younger, attractive, and not as successful. True or BS?
I told you, men mate and marry for sensual and sexual stability. You're right. They may be in love with a dead woman. They may be in love with the woman that ran off on them. God only knows. But the truth of the matter is, if you want a relationship of monogamy, continuity, and longevity, you can have that as long as you build it on friendship.
Yeah. So if I, you know me pretty well. I've been on your hot seat. I talk to you every year for the last 5 years on the air. And every year I ask you the same question, but I'm going to ask it again. What should I do to have different results for myself this year?
First of all, you have to answer, are you a career woman or a woman with a career?
Career woman.
Then you've got to find a man that's so in love with you, so chemically in love with you, that the fact that you're a career woman is something he can support in you and not get mad at. Did you see Robert De Niro's movie, Intern?
Yes.
Do you remember? The girl had the business and the guy was taking care of the kid and
Yes.
ended up screwing the neighbor lady.
Yeah.
Okay. If you can find a man, he's already done his career, he's retired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the best divorce rate is with men that are 15 years older than the woman they're with. Isn't that wonderful?
The best divorce rate or the highest divorce rate?
Best divorce rate.
Huh. Okay. So
Now,
older,
So
retired.
if you want to be mated or married to a man, you would do well to find a retired, heavy-duty businessman who's made all his stars on the crown and who really enjoys pleasing you.
That sounds
Being
good to me.
Your man for sensual and sexual pleasure, not your career man, and you're supposed to be the little homemaker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Supermom is not our game.
Now, if I could pretend enough to be a woman with a career, what would be the change in strategy? I'm covering both of my bases.
A woman with a career is you've got to give up your career or accept the fact that he's going to compete with you career-wise, that you've dented his ego. And that's ugly, horrible.
Mm-hmm. I could try
So
to pretend.
if you're going to be a career woman, do yourself a favor and get a wife in a man's body.
I don't want that. We did that already. I had to pay a lot of money to get out of that. So we can't do that anymore.
Okay. Then why don't you find a man you look up to enough that you can be a woman with a career on the side?
That's been my strategy, and I haven't been able to find. It's like the men who are interested in me are not the ones that I'm interested in, and the men that I am interested in.
You know why? Because they respect you, and it turns you off.
Ooh. Whoa. Say that again?
They respect you.
Okay, and why does
and
that
it
turn me
turns
off?
you off. You want to be cherished by a man.
Okay.
You want him to be so secure in his career or his former career that your career is like a side issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've got now. The man I'm with now was a therapist.
Okay.
But he now is a landowner, apartment owner. You understand, he has all the skills of a therapist, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I look up to him career-wise.
Okay. Yeah. That's honestly, that is what I want.
But you know what that does for me? Keep my yang mouth shut when I get kicked off, because his career is interfering with my appointment book.
Okay. So you are, with him, you are a woman with a career. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. That is the most challenging thing for me. And I'm better. I am better.
Challenging for me.
I am better. I promise you, Dr. Pat, I am really keeping my mouth shut, and then the first thing that comes out is something that, I'm complimenting his work or all of that, and I'm trying to stay.
Or you're asking for his advice. You're asking him to assist you. Men like to give, protect, and cherish us. And when we can do it for ourselves, they say, well, you might as well be alone. You don't need me.
Right. That's a tough one when you have done it yourself, for yourself, by yourself for such a long time. It's a hard habit to break. I'm not disagreeing with you. That I know already my BS on that. And Jarvis is going, yeah.
I want to tell you the language of a woman with a career. You want to hear it?
I'm ready. Good thing this is
Never
recorded.
Mother him. Never ask him what he feels unless he's puking or bleeding. Got that one?
Never ask him what he feels and what?
Are you happy? Are you sad?
Okay.
If he ever asks you what you think, tell him what you feel in answer to the question.
Okay.
Yeah. When he says, what do you think, and you say what you think, you're now competing.
Okay.
That's tool number one.
All right.
Tool number two. When you want to teach, preach, bitch, moan, or question him, you have to make an appointment before you ask anything. Honey, I have a request to make of you. When would it be convenient, hopefully today, for you to answer it or to talk to me? You must make an appointment to teach, preach, bitch, moan, or question. That's the second tool of Pat Allen.
And this is why I fail.
What?
This is why I fail. I'm trying not to puke right now.
Okay, do you have time for me to do the other three?
Yes.
Third one, how do you fight with him? If you have to call the police, a doctor, and a lawyer, do it. If you don't have to call the police, a doctor, and a lawyer, make him right for what he's doing that's wrong. You have every right to say that. You have every right to think that. You have every right to feel that. However, I'm uncomfortable with it. What do you think about doing it this way or not doing it that way? And what can I do to help you and I do it, sir?
Okay.
That's fighting with your man.
All right.
So cool. 90% of all communication is nonverbal. Rolled eyes, tones of voice, gestures, postures, expressions. But you can't negotiate with them. Honey, I sense by the look on your face you're upset about something. Am I right? Yes. When would it be convenient for you to tell me about it so I can do something with you to fix it? Have you got that? I sense, I think, I believe. By the tone of your voice, the look on your face, your body language, and your gestures, that you are upset. Am I right? If he doesn't give you a yes or a no, here's what you say. You have every right not to say yes or no. A non-answer is a negative answer. What can I do to help us do better now? And the last tool.
I'm going to be single next year again, I can tell.
Time out, that signal with the hand.
What was that?
You know where the hands form a cross? Time out?
Yes. This one?
That's a signal that you are using because you know if you open your mouth, you're going to tear him a new one.
That I know. Uh-huh.
So you give him a signal, and he says, what are you doing? I'm giving you a signal that I'm uncomfortable. Are you interested in the reason? Yeah, what is it? I'm uncomfortable because blank, blank, blank.
All right. So
that
when
would help you feel better. Those are the 5 tools.
Got it. Great tools. Great tools. I cannot promise that I can actually execute any of those. Actually, maybe the first one. But I'm and this is why every year we go through the same thing. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm happy 88% of the time. So just a quick application on that. So if someone doesn't text me back in a day, right? Until the following day, and that's my hot button, I have to make an appointment to be able to tell him that? Is that what you're saying?
You have to say, I have something to say may be painful for you. It's called bitching and moaning.
Okay.
Is it convenient for you to hear it now or when?
Okay. Well, that train left the station, so we're okay. We're okay. But next time I'll try that. I will try that.
Very good. Very good.
Dr. Pat Allen, you are amazing. You have a lot of wisdom. I so appreciate what you do for others. I love you. And I'm going to give you this year, I think I gave you it last year, but you deserve another one. Dr. Marissa, Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You actually have your own call-in talk show now. I wanted to make sure that people knew how to get to you.
5 to 6 on Thursday night, and they're also doing another one on Friday, so I'm on 2 days in a row. One day you can call in, and one day you just listen.
Perfect. So, and then of course your website, Dr. Pat Allen, PATALLEN. You can get all kinds of information on there and stay connected with my guest today, Dr. Pat Allen. Thank you again. See you next year.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Love you.
Happy hunting.
I'm sorry?
Happy hunting.
Oh, yes. Happy Single Awareness, but gonna try to change it day.
Good. All right.
All right. Bye. Peace in and peace out.
And I hope you enjoyed Dr. Pat Allen. She really is one of a kind, wonderful. And I do hope your Valentine's Day today is wonderful and full of wonder. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from her living room during the pandemic, reminding you that it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go forth and multiply the love that you are and have the best Valentine's Day ever. See you tomorrow.